everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is the 6th video in our Word of the Day series in association with Mrs. Wordsmith. I will pop the link to their website in the description below and go ahead and check them out. They've got loads of fab resources on there, lots of things you can download, activities you guys can do at home. Some of the tips that I'm going to show you in today's video also were taken or borrowed, should I say, from a lady called Kelly Ashley. I will also put the link to her website down below. She is the author of the most wonderful book called Word Power, and it teaches you a bunch of different ways that you can power up your vocabulary learning at home. Some of them more suitable for older children, some of them for younger children, and I'm going to show you one of her ideas. In fact, I'm going to show you a few this week, but one today of the ideas that I got from her book. She is awesome. Just check her out. So, without further ado, it is Monday, and our word of the day today is it's an interesting word actually. All of the words that I'm going to teach you this week have a history. They come either from Latin or originally from another language. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history of some of these words as we go through the week. Now, the word of the day today is tedious. Tedious. Say it with me. Tedious. Now, this word is an adjective and it means boring or dull. So I feel like I should say it in a boring or dull voice. Join in with me. Tedious. Tedious. Boring or dull. Tedious. Like having to work through an endless pile of tiresome homework. That sounds very tedious. It sounds very boring, very dull. And you can see in the picture here that our friend has got stacks and stacks of work that he needs to complete. He doesn't look very pleased about it. He's got a very irritated look on his face. You can tell that the work he is doing is not very interesting. It's very tedious, very boring, very, very dull. Ugh. Okay. Tedious. Now, as I said earlier, these words that I'm going to teach you this week all have roots, mostly in Latin, to be fair, and the word, this word is no exception. The word tedious does, in fact, originally come from Latin, and as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, the Latin language actually is present in well over half of words in English. So the Roman Empire marched up through much of Europe and it brought many things along with it. Roads, aqueducts, all sorts of things. And one of the things that it left behind in lots of European countries are parts of its language. And this word is no exception. So the original word from Latin was tedium, meaning boredom, basically, the state of being bored. And that has come all the way through into modern English as tedium. So if tedious means boring, an adjective, then tedium is boredom, the state of being bored. So tedium is a noun and tedious is an adjective. So it comes from Latin all the way through to modern English. Okay, and I just got to look at that picture again. Look at him. He looks so bored, bless him. He's got all that work to be, sort of trudging through, and he just doesn't look impressed. Very tedious, very, very boring. Okay, so I have got 2 challenges for you today. Challenge 1 is going to be your handwriting. So I'm going to show you a time lapse now of the handwriting that I would like you to do to go along with this word. Now, I have been so impressed so far, guys. This word, this work that you've been sending me pictures of. Obviously, children in my class, children in year 5 at my school can send me pictures of their work, but I know that there are people out there, subscribers out there, who aren't able to do that, and I can only assume that your work is just as beautiful. But the people who have been sending me pictures of their work in my class and in the other year 5 class, I have been absolutely blown away. It has been astounding, and it definitely hasn't been tedious to look at your work. It's been really interesting. So the first challenge is going to be your handwriting. So run the time lapse. Okay, you have done challenge number 1. Challenge number 1 was your handwriting. Challenge number 2 is something that is an idea that I got from a lady called Kelly Ashley, who is just amazing. Check out her website, buy her book. It's really good. Anyway, this idea is an idea that I got from Kelly Ashley, and she showed me this idea. I've been lucky enough to meet her a few times, and adults out there, you should definitely buy her book and have a little read through, because it really gives you some amazing hints and tips. And this particular one is to do with spelling. So this is called a scribble spell, and the first thing that you will need is a piece of paper. I'm going to do mine big up here, but you guys can do yours on a bit of scrap paper, whatever you've got at home. So all you need to do first is do a scribble on the page. Okay, so I have done a scribble on the page. Now you can make it have as many, I might add a little bit more on there. You can make it as complicated or as simple as you like. And the idea is that you write a different word in each section of your scribble. and repeating. A, it's good for your handwriting, and B, it helps you to get that spelling in your head. So I'm going to use one of the sections to write the word tedious as many times as I possibly can. So I'm going to do that in a time lapse now, so that you don't have to watch me do it hundreds and hundreds of times over, because that would be very tedious. I'm just going to show you once how I would do it. So I'm going to choose this section here, and I'm going to get my pen, and I'm going to write the word tedious over and over and over and over. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is the word that we have been learning. The word is tedious, and it means boring or dull, like having to work through an endless pile of tiresome homework. Nightmare. So that is the word that we have been using in our scribble spell. Now, in all of the other sections, it is kind of up to you. Now, when I do a scribble spell, I like to choose words that I know I find it difficult to spell. In this particular example, I'm going to write down some synonyms. Synonyms are words which mean the same thing. Now, the word that we are learning today is tedious, and if you pause the video here, you will see a bunch of words that are or could be synonyms, words which mean the same thing. Okay, so some synonyms for tedious could be boring, dull, tiresome, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sections left. So I need 5 words. Boring, dull, tiresome. Now, the other 2 words are completely up to you. Oh, I've got another one. Dreary. Dreary. That means the same thing, doesn't it? Dreary means kind of boring or dull. I'm going to add that one. I like that word. That's a good word. Dreary. Now, I am going to add all of those words onto my scribble spell. You don't have to write them all in the same direction as I have here. It's completely up to you, and I'm not going to make you watch me do this all in full speed, in like regular speed, because that would be very dreary. So I'm going to speed up the video now and fill in the rest of my scribble spell. Off I go. Challenge number 1 was handwriting. Challenge number 2 was our scribble spell. Now another challenge, this is totally optional guys, you don't have to do this. Another challenge that's really nice to do with this particular word is to think about the ending of the word. So the ending of the word is O-U-S. O-U-S, and it is an adjective. And what I would like you to do, I'm going to give you a few examples to set you off. What I would like you to do as your optional 3rd challenge is to come up with as many adjectives as you can that share the same ending. So I've got a few here: marvellous, fabulous, and devious. Okay, marvellous, fabulous, devious. So see how many more words you can come up with an O-U-S ending, but they have to be adjectives. Have a wonderful day, guys. I hope it's not too tedious, and hopefully I will see you all back on my channel tomorrow for another wonderful word of the day in association with Mrs. Wordsmith.